Good morning, you guys. Happy Saturday. Like, you guys, I literally just got off work, came home, set up, and started recording because I want to be more consistent. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying stay safe out there. If it ain't coronavirus, it's all of these protesters starting riots. But that's for home of the video. Just stay safe. 2020, really is canceled. It's just been a lot. But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to come in and share my experience working as a new nurse during a pandemic at that, COVID pandemic, for the last 4 months. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So I started January 30th. So actually today makes 4 months that I've been on the job. And it's great. I've been wanting to be a nurse for so long. To say that I've been actively practicing in my passion for 4 months is just really rewarding. It's something so fulfilling, you guys, about waking up every day and going to clock in to do something that you've always wanted to do. It is something really fulfilling really fulfilling in that. So when I first started working, my job had the habit of training us on every shift. So I did 7 to 3 and 3 to 11 mainly. I did 11 to 7 one night, but I didn't really learn. I don't know, the nurse that I trained with, I hate to say, didn't really do much. So I didn't really know exactly how different night nurses work versus 3 to 11 and 7 to 3 nurses, exactly the extent of what they have to do to get the next day started, to prep for the next day. I learned all of that through trial and error. People coming up to me, oh, you didn't do this, didn't do that. So when I first started, most of the nurses there, they were shocked when day 10 came around and I'm still in training. Because they say, even as a new nurse, when they started, they only got 3 to 4 days max. Lesson number one, you cannot come into this field. It's even worse to me now, especially like with the shortage that we experienced when the pandemic first hit. You cannot be the type of person that just kind of a pushover personality, because if so, they will work you. They will work you in the ground. I've seen it. I'm good. Me personally, I did not go to school to be a work meal to a job. The purpose of me getting more skills to myself and gaining more skill set and just going to school is something I can make more and work less. Like I'm really big on balance. So when I first started, it was good. I was working 7 to 3 shifts and 3 to 11 pretty much every other day. So my body was like freaking out. Get up 7 to 3, and then when I get off, I don't come back into 3, and then I'm getting off at 11:30 to come back in at 7. It was crazy for a while, you guys. So once 5 days passed, they tried to put me on a cart, and I wasn't having it. Like, I asked for an additional, I need a full 2 weeks. So when I first got hired, they told me that they give a full 2 weeks of training, which clearly that wasn't the case. They gave me my full 2 weeks because I refused to take a key. Listen, as a nurse, they need your skills. You are a hot commodity and a great asset to them. Do not take that cart and let them bully you into taking the cart before you are ready. Point blank period. I just would not do it. No. So I ended up going to 3 to 11 officially. I initially wanted to go to the job for the 7 to 3 shift, but they didn't have any available. So I ended up opting for 3 to 11 because at the time 11 to 7 just was not appealing. Staying up all night just was not appealing to me. And now I wouldn't dare get off of the schedule. It's so crazy how things work out, really. So I was working 3 to 11. You guys, let me tell you, school just do not, I know I've heard many YouTubers say it's the truth. School does not even begin to prepare you for the amount of things you're going to learn while you're actually practicing. Because for one, my school, I'm very grateful for the opportunity it provided, but I really feel like a big letdown for me was the skills, like getting more time in lab and actually practicing skills. I really felt like I didn't learn many skills in nursing school, but that's what any school, most people say they don't really learn how to be a nurse until you're on the floor. Honestly, you guys, within the first week, I was doing PEG tubes, ostomies, I was doing feeding tubes, I was hanging IVs, hanging IV meds. Yes, in my facility, LPNs hang IV meds. So when I tell you I do it all, I am injections. Some of those things, unfortunately, I never done it. I never did a lot of those things in nursing school. We just didn't, wasn't exposed to it, unfortunately. But I've learned a lot of skills. I've learned a lot of skills, really, really. I'm at a skilled nursing facility, and for the first 2 months, I was on the rehab side. So I was seeing some of everything. Lord have mercy. So that was really good experience. Once I got out of orientation, I was permanently by myself, 3 to 11. And I was going to be permanently on the rehab side. Now, normally, all new nurses that come to that job, they go to the long-term care side. But my personality was just like, they really loved me. But I did customer service for 8 years. So, and plus I have a bubbly personality, and I really enjoy caring for people. Like, this is why I wanted to become a nurse. So I ended up, the administrator of my building walked up to me and let me know he wants me to be here permanently. This is a good fit, because they don't let just anybody, like when I say, they don't just let anybody go on that side, they don't. So I did that for about, I would say, from mid-February all the way up into mid-April. So about 2 months. I did 3 to 11 shift for 2 months. Once the kids were no longer in school, I found 3 to 11 just really exhausting. I felt like I never saw my kids, because when I would get off, I would stay there charting to 1, sometimes 2 in the morning charting on the 3 to 11 shifts. So I was getting off sometimes at 2, get home 2:30, 2:45. I'm up, fall asleep 6, 7, and I'm sleeping until 1:30, and it's time to go back. All I felt like I was doing on 3 to 11 was working and sleeping. I absolutely hated it. So I brought it to the scheduler's attention. She kept telling me no, no, no. But as soon as, I can't make this up, you guys, as soon as one of the residents was tested positive for COVID, all but one, listen to me, all but one of the nurses from overnight left the job. Like, COVID ain't gonna be in no other buildings. So overnight opened up, and I've been overnight ever since. So I've been working overnight for a little over a month now, and I love it. I get more sleep, spend more time with my kids, just have more time a day to do things. Like, overnight is where it's at. I just absolutely fell in love. So when I was to switch to the overnight schedule, I was told that I was going to get 2 days of training, because there's a lot of things that are done overnight that I was never trained to do. The first night I showed up for overnight, I was put on a cart by myself. Wasn't no more training. So I ended up having to, I was never taught how to balance out a glucometer. It's another name for it, but I can't think of it right now. How to balance out a glucometer to make sure the blood sugar readings are correct for the whole day. We're responsible for all labs. We do all labs. We do all PEG tube dressing changes. I had never before in my life changed the PEG tube dressing at that point. I only put the food in there, and fed them. Did a tube feeding, but I actually never changed the dressing. We pretty much do it all. We change the oxygen setup weekly, overnight. Like, overnight is basically, the overnight crew changes everything out, because when you're working 7 to 3, you're busy. 3 to 11 is a busy shift, really. So I can understand that, but I just was never trained to do those things. I was YouTubing, you guys, how to do certain things. I didn't get adequate training when I switched to overnight, but now I got it down packed, no problem. So calibrate a glucometer machine. I ended up finding out how to do that on YouTube, and they ended up teaching another nurse that was working with me overnight how to do it, because she didn't know how to do it either. and she had, okay, she wasn't a new nurse, but anyways, so I didn't feel so bad. But the experience has been very rewarding, but at one point it was very, very overwhelming, because once all of the overnight shift quit, I was still on 3 to 11. I was stuck doing doubles. No nurse was there to relieve me, so I was doing 16s back to back to back, you guys. I became very overwhelmed. I let them know I need to go to night shift. This is not going to work. This isn't working for me. I need to go to night shift ASAP. They sent me to night shift because she kept giving me the runaround. Basically, she was wanting me to work 3 to 11 and then do the double, because she knows she ain't have no 11 to 7 nurses. So I was like, I put my foot down. I was like, I'm not. No. It had got so bad at one point. My supervisor came up to me at one point, asked me if I wanted to try out 12s. And I was like, yes. I said specifically, I would love to try out 12-hour shifts, because I don't really like being on the job 5-6 days a week anyway. You guys, they were scheduling me still a full 5 days, 8-hour shifts, and 3 of those 5 days were 12-hour shifts. That's how they were trying to introduce me. That's not what we agreed to. Is y'all crazy? No. So I said, go ahead and take me off the 12. So I ain't yet to work 12s at this job. I worked 16s, getting stuck on the part doing doubles. But ever since I went overnight, thank the Lord, knock on wood, I haven't had any problems being relieved. Working during this COVID pandemic for me, at one point was just really, 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 really exhausting. It taught me the meaning of no. At one point, they were blowing my phone up, asking me if I can work these shifts. Knowing that I just got off overnight, y'all, blowing me up 2 hours later, asking me to come back in at 3 and work my 11 to 7 shift as well. At one point, I just started answering the phone. It's like, all money ain't good money. And plus, after you work so many hours, Uncle Sam will come and take some of them taxes anyway. So it's good to know what is your overtime cap, because after that, they taking that money you're making. You working yourself hard for Uncle Sam to come take the money. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I was good on that. Still am good on that. I don't really work any overtime at this point unless I really want to. I'm just trying to, get my feet wet in this field without being without getting burned out. Is the word I'm looking for. Without getting burned out. Yeah, it's definitely vital. Honestly, that was the biggest, more than anything else, I've just learned really how you have to put yourself first in a career like this. Because at one end, you have to be very compassionate. You have to be a team player. But on the other end, you have to realize, especially if you are a parent and you just, even if you're sitting at home in the bed all day, you have to protect your mental as well. You got to protect your well-being. I've seen, come across a lot of nurses at this point that work 2 and 3 jobs. And I think that has to come from living above your means, because, listen, I'm making $13 an hour more than what I was making previously, and I was doing okay on that money. So if I cannot budget and save with this money I'm making now, I'm living above my means, sis. Like, ain't no need to go out and get a brand new car right now. I'm trying to pay off all my debt. I'm trying to get my life together on this end. I really am. So, I'm very, very grateful for the experience. I am just ready to continue to learn more. I am very cautious. Like, normally when I get in, I go ahead and hop in the shower, take all my clothes off, but my kids are asleep, so they're not around me, trying to hug up on me and stuff like that. So I was like, let me go ahead and make a quick video. But normally, to be safe, I wear an N95 mask. Sometimes I wear the little surgical mask over the N95 mask. I know it's overkill, but I washing your hands. I wash my hands, you guys, after every patient I come in contact with. I mean, you should technically do it every time, but even when I'm walking in the room, if I take a blood pressure, I'm washing my hands. Whatever I do, I'm washing my hands. I'm not taking anything from one patient to the next. That's why I believe so many facilities got infested with the COVID. Thank God my facility wasn't one of them. Knock on wood, you know, thank goodness. It didn't get as bad as some of these nursing homes I read in the news where like so many people were dying, and things like that. So my job took precautions early on. Even I remember when we were complaining, like, why can't nobody go outside the building? When we come in, we're stuck in the building. Bring your food, you can't go back out. No family can go in, and that was before the state mandated any of that. My job already did that. Like literally 2 weeks before all of that was happening, before COVID really was like rampage, my job stopped and shut it down real quick. So it took us a very long time even for someone to get the COVID, and that was from them going to the hospital and coming back in the building. So they were isolated immediately, but my job just didn't play the radio with that. So I am thankful for that they took that serious. I actually got tested for COVID Thursday, so 2 days ago, so I should know my results. They said 48 hours. I don't know if it was 48 business hours. If so, I don't know about Monday night, my results, but we claiming a negative COVID reading because anybody got time for that. I just, more than anything, I want to just let somebody out there know who is watching this video. If you feel like you want to become a nurse, even with all this madness going on, now is the time. Like, I'm telling you, I am a testament. If you have followed my journey, it has not been an easy path for me. Things are starting to finally look up, finally. But it never got better until I chose to do something different. I struggled through the financial burden that I took with me all through under school. It almost had me drop out at one point, but I just kind of realized, like, for some of us, our only way out is to elevate ourselves on our own. We don't have anybody to help us with that. We are our own savior, in a sense. I don't mean to sound religious, but I'm like being serious. Like we are it. That's it. But I love you guys. Leave a comment down below what videos or topics you would like me to talk about next. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. And I love you guys. Please, please, please stay safe. Stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Is it okay? It's fine. The